Last winter, Dr. Sarah put down her coffee and told me something that shattered everything I thought I knew about cat care. Your cat isn't lazy, she said. He's suffering, and you're causing it. That moment changed everything, because what I'm about to show you aren't just mistakes, they're silent killers. And 90% of cat owners make at least 3 of them. Daily, the worst part. Your cat will never tell you. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's slowly destroying your cat's health and how to stop it tonight.
Let's start with the mistake that feels the most innocent. The one that starts with love and ends with liver disease. Primera, cale, ete, winter, comfort trap. You know the feeling. It's December. The days are shorter, the air is colder, and your cat is curled up on your lap looking up at you with those big, round eyes. So you reach for the kibble bag, just a little extra. After all, they're putting on their winter coat. Right? They need the calories. Wrong. Dead wrong. Here's the biology your vet wishes you knew. When temperatures drop, a cat's outdoor activity naturally decreases. They're not hunting as much, not patrolling their territory, not burning through energy reserves. But here's the cruel twist there. Appetite doesn't drop with it. In fact, many cats actually eat more in winter due to boredom and the instinct to prepare for scarcity. So what happens? That little extra scoop becomes a daily habit. By February, your cat has gained 2 pounds. By spring, they're carrying the equivalent of a human gaining 30 pounds in 3 months. But it's not just about the weight. Every excess ounce presses on their joints. Their heart works harder. Their liver processes toxins slower. And their kidneys, those delicate, vital organs, start showing early signs of strain. The scariest part. You won't see symptoms until it's almost too late. I learned this the hard way with my own cat, Milo. By the time we noticed he was grooming less, the vet found early-stage fatty liver. He's not lazy, the vet told us. He's exhausted from carrying excess weight. That conversation cost me $2,400 in tests and 3 months of dietary management. But here's what vets don't tell you in those 5-minute appointments. It's not about feeding less, it's about feeding smarter. First, maintain strict portion control. Use a measuring cup, not a scoop. Second, switch to wet food served at body temperature. Warm food releases more aroma, triggers satiety faster, and adds crucial hydration that dry kibble strips away. Third, and this is the game changer, use puzzle feeders. Make your cat work for their food. It mimics natural hunting behavior, burns mental and physical energy, and extends mealtime satisfaction. The transformation in Milo was visible within weeks. More energy, sheenier coat, and those eyes. They weren't begging for food anymore. They were alert, engaged, alive. But this was just mistake number 1. And honestly, it's the least dangerous one on this list. Because what comes next doesn't just affect your cat's body. It attacks their mind. And by the time you notice the damage, the behavior is already ingrained. Coming up next, the hibernation myth that's turning happy cats into anxious, destructive machines. And why your cozy winter routine is actually making them miserable. Look at your cat right now. If it's winter, there's a 70% chance they're sleeping. And if you're like most owners, you think that's normal? Cats sleep 16 hours a day. You tell yourself, they're just hibernating a little. Let me stop you right there. Because that belief, it's destroying your cat's mental health. Here's what the research from the Journal of Feline Medicine reveals. Indoor cats in winter don't sleep more because they're tired. They sleep more because they're bored, depressed, even, and that distinction is everything. In the wild, cats hunt 10 to 20 times daily. Not because they're hungry though, they are, but because their brains are wired for the stalk, chase, pounce sequence. It's not exercise. It's neurological necessity. Every successful hunt releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical that regulates mood, sleep cycles, and even immune function. When we skip playtime because it's too cold or they seem tired, we're not giving them rest. We're inducing withdrawal. And cats in withdrawal don't look sad. They look fine. They sleep. They eat. They use the litter box. But inside, stress hormones are building. Cortisol spikes, Inflammation increases, and slowly, behaviorally, they start to crack. Maybe your cat attacks your ankles out of nowhere. Maybe they start over-grooming, creating bald patches. Maybe they stop using the litter box consistently. Or maybe this is the most common sign, they just seem flat, less interactive, less curious, less alive. Vets see this constantly in winter. My cat has changed, owners say. He's just getting older. They concluded, no, he's not aging. He's deteriorating from lack of stimulation. And the fix is so simple, it feels almost insulting. 10 minutes, twice a day. That's the prescription. But not just any play, effective play. You need toys that mimic real prey. Feather wands that flutter like birds. Mouse toys that skitter, unpredictable. Laser pointers, yes. Lasers are fine if you end with a tangible catch. The key is the sequence. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch. Miss any step and you leave your cat frustrated, not fulfilled. And here's a pro tip vets rarely share. Always let your cat win. That final pounce, that successful catch, triggers the dopamine release that makes the whole session worthwhile. Without it, you're just teasing. With it, you're healing. I started this routine with Milo last January. The first 3 days, he ignored the toys. Day 4, he swatted half-heartedly. By day 7, he was leaping, twisting, chasing shadows again. By February, he was waking me up for playtime. His winter depression wasn't seasonal. It was and completely reversible. But now we need to talk about the air your cat is breathing. Because while you're sealing windows to keep warmth in, you're trapping something deadly. And your cat's respiratory system is paying the price every single breath. Take a deep breath. Right now, wherever you are, that air you're pulling into your lungs. If you're in a sealed winter home, it's 5 to 10 times more polluted than outdoor air. And your cat, they're breathing it 24/7, with lungs far more sensitive than yours. Here's the respiratory reality. Veterinarians are desperately trying to communicate. A cat's lung capacity is proportionally smaller than a human's. Their breathing rate is faster, and their entire respiratory system is evolved for open, moving air, not the stagnant, recycled soup we create in winter. When you seal every window, crank the heat, and run recirculating systems, you create what scientists call sick building syndrome. For cats, it's literal. Carbon dioxide builds up. Dust accumulates. Microscopic allergens, dust mites, skin flakes, chemical residues float. Invisibly, settling in lungs, irritating eyes, coating nasal passages. The symptoms? Subtle. Sneezing fits you dismiss as just a cold. Watery eyes you blame on age. That's like cough that comes and goes. But internally, your cat's body is fighting a constant, low-grade battle. Immune system engaged. Inflammation, chronic. Energy diverted from play, from healing, from thriving, to surviving. Dr. Lisa Pearson, a feline veterinary specialist, puts it starkly. Most indoor cats in winter are essentially living in mild hypoxia-oxygen deprivation. They adapt, but they don't thrive. And owners mistake that adaptation for normalcy. The solution isn't dramatic. It's almost embarrassingly simple. Crack a window. Yes, even in January. Even in Minnesota. Even when it feels wrong. 10 minutes of fresh air circulation daily changes everything. It flushes CO2. It redistributes moisture. It gives your cat's lungs actual oxygen instead of recycled exhaust. If you live in extreme cold, use an air purifier with HEPA filtration, not just for allergen, but for the oxygen exchange that happens when air actually moves. And position matters. Cats need vertical air access. That window you crack. Make sure it's one your cat can sit near, can watch, can sniff. They're not just breathing that air. They're experiencing it. Monitoring Italiano being cats in it. Milo's winter lethargy improved dramatically when I started this. Not immediately. It took 2 weeks, but his eyes cleared. His sneezing stopped, and that subtle behavioral shift that returned to alertness. It wasn't just the play sessions. It was finally being able to breathe. But we're not done. because the next mistake doesn't just affect lungs. It attacks organs, silent, cumulative, and completely invisible until the damage is severe. I'm talking about the moisture you're stealing from your cat's body every time you turn up the heat. Listen carefully, because this is the mistake that kills more cats than almost anything else on this list. And it happens in every heated home, every winter, completely unnoticed. Chronic dehydration. Not dramatic, obvious thirst. Slow, invisible, organ-damaging dehydration. Here's the physiological trap. When you heat your home, you don't just warm the air, you remove moisture from it. Winter indoor humidity often drops below 20% desert-level dryness. And that dry air, it pulls moisture from everything it touches, including your cat's body, their skin, their nasal passages, their lungs, and most critically, their kidneys. Cats evolved from desert ancestors. They have a naturally low thirst drive there designed to get moisture from prey, not water bowls. In the wild, a mouse is 70% water. Dry kibble, 10%. Add heated, dry air, pulling moisture from their bodies 24/7, and you have a perfect storm for renal stress. The progression is insidious. Thickened urine, strained kidney function, mineral buildup. By the time you notice increased drinking or worse, decreased drinking because they feel nauseous, the damage is established. Chronic kidney disease, the leading cause of death in cats over 7, and winter heating is pouring gasoline on that fire. I want you to understand something. Your cat will not tell you they're dehydrated. Their instincts tell them to hide weakness. So they sleep more, te mobles. They seem winter lazy, but internally, their kidneys are screaming. The veterinary solution is three-pronged. First, humidify your home. Not for your skin, for your cat's organs. Target 40 to 50% humidity. Second, water fountains. Cats are hardwired to prefer moving water. Evolution's protection against stagnant, bacteria-filled sources. Multiple fountains, different rooms, constant freshness. Third, and most importantly, wet food. Warmed to body temperature. This single change can double your cat's moisture intake without them drinking a drop more. Milo's blood work last March showed improved kidney values. His vet was surprised. Most cats decline through winter, she said. What are you doing differently? I told her about the humidifier. The fountains, the warm, wet food. She now recommends it to every client. But there's one more mistake, the most dangerous one, because it masks all the others. It explains away symptoms. It delays treatment until it's often too late. I'm talking about the winter laziness lie we tell ourselves. The belief that slows cats, sleeping more, moving less, is just seasonal, when often it's the only way they can communicate pain.